So I've been back and forth wanting to make a video encompassing my love for horror movies, but I keep running into the same problem. I don't feel that I think about horror movies the same as the average person. So maybe we should start there. Why do I like horror movies? They've always fascinated me. Ever since I was a child, anytime that I saw something that scared me, I watched it again. I wanted to know why it scared me. I grew up in the 90s when scary television and media was readily available for children, from entry-level scary, of Are You Afraid of the Dark, or Goosebumps, to the more adult scary, of Tales from the Crypt. My parents trusted me to tell them when something was too much, so they never saw much of a reason to censor what me and my sister watched. Of course, they did censor some things that were obviously too adult. But, for the most part, we were allowed to watch just about anything. Because of this, the first horror movie that I ever saw was A Nightmare on Elm Street. You see, as a child, I had night terrors. And the exact ones that you're thinking of too. Flailing, screaming, unable to wake up. My parents had to shake me awake sometimes. My mom would try all sorts of things to let me understand that my dreams were nothing to be scared of. And I remember as a child thinking of Freddy Krueger, this dream demon, hell-bent on killing children in their sleep. Really, the movies only showed him killing horny teenagers, but it's the idea of that makes you scared of them. It's the fear that feeds them. This helped me. I started to wake up and just go right back to sleep, knowing nothing was wrong. So I started watching horror movies to stave off my nightmares. Weird, I know, but it totally worked. But because of this, it takes a lot to scare me. I was never scared by the average things other people were. Chucky, Michael Myers, Dracula. None of these things scared me. So why do I find horror movies so intoxicating? It's how they scare people. When I go into a horror movie, I want it to do a few things. I want it to make me forget that I'm sitting on my couch. Make me forget that it's not real. And captivate me with storytelling. This is what I feel horror movies have lost in the last 20 years. Every now and then, you'll get a gem of something along the lines of Hereditary or the Blair Witch Projects, even Scream that tried to revive the entire horror movie industry. But it died, and now we're left with a zombie.
Grr, arg.
Now, when I watch a horror movie, I'm looking for the subtle nuances, something more along the lines of Japanese horror movies from the early 2000s. Indie horror movies with almost no budget or nothing but passion. At one time, Blockbuster had a plan where you could pay a flat rate every month and rent as many movies as you'd like. Looking back on this, they were probably competing with Netflix. Me and my sister would go to Blockbuster and rent horror movie after horror movie, until we've seen them all. Then we moved on to the internet, trying to find different horror movies that we could buy for cheap. But through this, I found Cairo. I found Uzumake. Through that, I found the comics. And I found my love for horror once more. Now, in 2019, I'm seeing what may be the start of another renaissance. I may be talking out of turn, but more and more I'm seeing people with unique ideas come forward and production companies actually putting the money up to share these ideas for the world to see. Things like Honeymoon and Hereditary and Get Out. Movies that are given budgets that before wouldn't have even seen the light of day. When story makers would have been told, no one wants to see that. So why do I like horror movies? I like to be scared, and more importantly, I like to know how they did it. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching my video. If you want to see me talk in further detail about any of the movies I mentioned, please comment below, like, subscribe. I would love to keep doing this. And until next time, stay spooky.